Namaste, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for joining. As always, please practice according to your conditions and your level of experience and flexibility and strength. Remember, the practice is an offering, so how you feel is an extent affecting everybody. So practice in a way that is mindful. As Dharmaji says, watch out, watch what you're doing. So on that note, let's begin the practice. Remember, the practice is a divine gift to all beings. You want to make it the best possible. So now let's close the eyes and bring the attention inward. Before creation, what existed? God was always there in the midst of it all, and will still be there even beyond the ends of this universe. Merge with that divine supreme consciousness now. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you're everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. To the inner light. Om Namah Shivaya. beings everywhere. Be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let's enter into the higher realms of the self. Spiritual breathing. Imagine you're pulling the best from all around, in through the arms and into the spiritual heart, located in the center of the chest and right side of the physical heart. Hold it all there as an offering to God, who resides equally in all beings. Exhale out through the arms. Just the breath leaves. Everything that you pulled in stays within. Bring the arms up. Inhale down through the arms. 2, 3, the best, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding in the heart, hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the arms. Send just the breath out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale everything that you need down through the arms into the spiritual heart. 3, 4. Feel yourself being flooded by that goodness. 6, 7, 8. Again, holding it in the heart. 2. Hold the breath. 4, 5, 6. Exhale again out through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale down through the arms. Everything you need. The best, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding all in the heart. Hold the breath. Exhale out through the arms. Everything that you pulled in stays within. The breath leaves back out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down now. Purify our pranayama. Imagine that you're being purified from the inside out and all the purifying effects going from the bottom all the way up to the crown. And as you exhale, imagine all the impurities leaving out with the breath. So we're breathing in through both nostrils for a count of 4, holding the breath for 12. We'll apply the throat and root lock. I'll explain that in a moment. Exhale out through the left nostril for the breath retention. As you're breathing in, ensure that you're inflating the lungs and bring the chest up as high as you can. So when you hold the breath, your chin comes onto the chest and your back can remain straight. So you try not to hunch the back forward. And then the tongues are through the mouth behind the teeth to seal off the lock. The attention's at the seat of divine perception in the center of the forebrow. For the root lock, that's the throat lock. For the root lock, we contract the buttocks and the upper and the pelvic floor. Pull it up towards the navel and imagine pushing right up against the back wall of the body behind the rib basket. So, left hand in Yana Mudra, second finger and the other 3 fingers extended. Second finger and thumb connected, I should say, forming a union between the universal and the individual soul. Other 3 fingers. The 3 states or 3 aspects of God. Brahma, creator, Vishnu, preserver, Maheshvara was the destroyer, or Shiva, the destroyer, the transformer. On the left knee, right hand, second, third fingers fold down. This is Vishnu Mudra. When you turn the palm towards you, it's no longer Vishnu Mudra. Thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left. Always use your right hand and these 2 fingers. Okay, so sit up tall and straight. Exhale completely, empty the lungs. Inhale fully. 2, 3, 4. Raise the chest, hold the breath, plug both sides of the nose. 2, 3. All the attention at the space between the eyebrows. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out through the left side, gradually. 3, 4. Release the tension in the throat and our root. 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale through both nostrils. 3, remember, lift the chest. 4, hold the breath, chin on the chest, contract the root muscles, contract the buttocks and the upper and the pelvic floor. 5, 6, all the attention at the seat of divine perception. 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, be completely empty by the 8th count. 8. Inhale again. 3, 4. Hold both sides of the nose closed. Everything stops. All the mind activity, the body movements, and emotion as though they're frozen. 10, 11, 12. Exhale out through the left side. 3, 4, 5, 6. Gradually exhale. A gradual exhale. And inhale. Hold for 12. Keep your attention at the center of the forebrow to draw all the prana there, all the purifying effects as well. 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. Inhale. Hold. Keep watching this space between the eyebrows. Exhale out to the left side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And take a moment to just notice the state of the body, the mind, and emotions. Have no expectation, no concern as to what you observe. Just be the witness. Emerge as the supreme witness which is within, who sees everything with unconditional love. Now, in order to bring about more purification in the body, bring the attention to the center of the forebrow, the space between the eyebrows. The sound is sun, S-U-N. Imagine that sound being loud enough, or vibration produced loud, strong enough to dislodge all the impurities from wherever they're residing in the body, to be brought in the bloodstream, to be brought out of the body eventually. Sound again is sun. Concentrate on the end part of the sound to produce those strong vibrations. Inhale. Sun. One more. Inhale. Sun. Now for mental sharpness, bring your attention to the crown. Feel the whole brain vibrating with the vibration produced by the sum sound, especially the latter part of the sound, the M part, and the result of the lips pressing together and the top of the head vibrating through that vibration will help to promote mental sharpness and clarity. Inhale, attention at the crown. Sum. Inhale. Sum. Again, notice any effects produced on the body, the mind, and the emotions. Now through the postures, we continue to bring about benefits to the body, but don't get attached to the results and have no expectations as to, in regards to the practice. Renounce all the fruits, and that makes the practice even better than meditation. It makes it the best offering. Let's take a moment now to just imagine God is everywhere, and therefore this infinite being is everywhere. That is you too. Let's come to standing. So we'll do some warm-ups just to prepare the body for the practice. Swing from one side to the other. It's important to move the joints vigorously in the warm-ups to keep the body in good radiant health. And then start to move faster. Feel as though the arms were dead. Shake out the shoulders. The head flies in all the directions. Always again according to your condition. And then start to slow it down. Bring the hands back on the hips and circle the head. Large circles as possible. The ears touching the shoulders, the chin to the chest, back of the head to the top of the back. Try to see the floor as the head goes all wherever the head is in its rotation. Try to keep your eyes on the floor. And then switch the direction of rotation. Feel so the head is very heavy. You can't even stay on top of the neck. It just rolls all the way around it. And now, the right arm up, left hand down, and the hands pass the middle, spinning in opposite directions. Now left arm up, right hand down, and again. Bring the arms up over the head now. Take hold of the opposite elbows, bend to the left, bounce. With each bounce, try to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. Go to the other side now. Push the hips and ribs out of the left side of the body. Try not to make folds in the underside of the body at the waist. Come back to the left. Look past the right elbow. Try not to hunch the back. Try not to come forward. The head, and then go to the other side. Back to the center, and then little circles over the head to start. And as you feel comfortable, make the circles larger. The chest and the upper back coming into the movement. Starting to feel the waist. And then if you feel apt to do so, you can circle the whole trunk, trace large circles in front of the body with the action of a windmill. And coming all the way back up, and go the other direction. Little circles over the head to begin. And then gradually adding in the chest and the upper back. Keep pulling on the elbows, keep the arms pressing into the ears. And then if you like, you can start to hinge at the hips and make as large circles as possible. The forearms brushing right across the front of the tops of the feet. And then coming back up, release. Shake out the wrists, move the fingers very, very rapidly like you're trying to dry your hands. And then up and down. Feels like you have no control over the hands, are moving all by themselves. Now, bring your arms up to the side. If you need to, you can bring your left hand on the wall, swing the right leg back and forth, like a big pendulum that went out of control. Lean forward as the knee comes up towards the shoulder, so the knee may even touch the shoulder. And then the other leg. Imagine that the foot's going to come up so high in the back that kicks in the head, the back of the head. feet together, the arms by the sides of the body. Start to raise your arms and heels. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale back down, 2, 3, 4. Control the movements, 6. Inhale, can come up, 2, 3. Push into roots your toes, engage the core muscles and the leg muscles. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, feel the arms floating up by themselves. 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do one more. Inhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring the chin back onto the chest. Stay in this in the gesture of humility. And stay in this humble mindset throughout the practice. Imagine this as your divine duty to all beings everywhere. Just do it because it must be done. Now let's make our way to the front of the mat. Okay, so now come to the front of the mat, hands to the heart. So imagine you're being infused by the sun's light and warmth, representative of the wisdom and the love of God. And infuse yourself with it and share it with all beings everywhere through your experience. Surya Namaskara. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back, fold forward, bend your knees if you need to bring your hands flat on the ground, chest on the thighs. Right foot back, lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Come into the high plank. Knees down, the seat all the way back behind your heels. Glide forward smoothly, brush the nose to the ground, coming up into the cobra. Pull the shoulders back, the head falls back. Take the seat back again. 2 more times. Glide forward, brush the nose to the ground. Creep forward like a snake creeping through the grass. 1 more time. Take the seat back. Come forward. Pull at the floor with the arms like you're trying to pull the floor right to the body. And that helps to propel yourself forward, more power and ease. And then back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the feet, allow the head to come down below the arms. If you can, touch the head to the ground. Look forward, the right foot steps forward. If that's difficult, you can lower the back knee down. If the foot doesn't make it all the way, you can always use the right hand to guide it forward. And then the feet come together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs again, head down. Come right up to standing, arch back as you see fit. Back home, Pranayama, hands to the heart. Again, raise your arms up, don't worry about the breath, just move the body, the breath will follow and deliver more steadiness and fluidity and ease. Back with the left foot. Into plank, down we go, Ashtanga Namaskar, well actually the seat all the way back, come forward. Lying on your belly, bring the head all the way up and back. Try to imitate the movement of the snake. Copy the forms in all ways, mentally, physically, spiritually. That means tapping into their divine qualities. And this is in every form. God is represented in so many different beautiful ways. Into the cobra, Bhujangasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then the left foot steps forward to the hands. Back knee down, drop the seat all the way forward towards your front heel. Uttanasana, bring the feet together, bow to the legs. Come all the way up to standing, reach up over the head. And coming back home. In every posture, in every movement, reflect devotion, love, and surrender to divine service. Uttanasana, the right foot back. Into the plank. Ashtanga Namaskar, knees, chest, forehead down. This time as you come forward, lift your hips and knees away from the ground, your hips come between your hands. Bend the toes under, pulse a little bit. So you can push the shoulders back, the nose comes up, look like a dog howling at the moon. Drop the shoulders, make sure this is not happening with but don't lose your neck. Keep the neck telescoping on the shoulders. Back the other way, lift the seat, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Here again, bounce through the chest. Try to get it close to the ground. Again, if you're flexible, bring the forehead down. If you're very flexible, maybe the nose and the chin might be coming down as well. Soften the line of the back. Look at the dog stretching its back. Most importantly, embody all the divine qualities of a dog, loyalty to its master especially. Good. Now from here, right foot steps forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana. Pull the body to the legs. Come all the way up to standing. And come back home, hands to the heart. Go up and back. Engage the buttocks and upper back to support your movements. Uttanasana. Fold the body in half, a gesture of humbleness here. The left foot back into the plank. Ashtanga Namaskar, knees, chest, forehead down, and swing right into upward facing dog. Good. Bend the toes under again. Pulse. Try it again to work the waist a little bit, the shoulders, the spine. Try to get the telescope the body out of the hips. Try not to make a great big fold across the back, the lower back or the back of the neck. Lift the seat. Again, downward facing dog. Bounce here a little bit. Try to get your shoulders open up. The chest falls towards the ground. Good. And now from here, left foot steps forward. And then Uttanasana, feet come together. Bow to the legs, a gesture of deep humility. Come all the way up. Hasta Uttanasana. Come back home, Pranayama. We're always coming back to the source of divine love. Reach up. Fold the body down. Right foot back. This time keep the back knee lifted. Keep the back leg strong and charged. Into the plank. You have the option to go into Ashtanga Namaskar again, to come into upward facing dog. Or if you're stronger, bring the seat back, the knees stay up. See if you can make your way right into upward facing dog from here. Pull the elbows into the sides body. Push through the roots of your toes and the hands. Upward facing dog. Right back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then a right foot steps forward to the hand. Back again. Back leg stays strong. Back knee lifted. And Uttanasana. Come right up to standing. Come back home. Go up and back again. Come forward. Bounce the legs. Left foot back. Keep the back knee lifted. Into the plank. Your entrance into upward facing dog. Without your legs touching the ground if possible, or knees, chest, forehead down, and make your way into it. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then the left foot steps forward to the hands. Back knee stays lifted. Feet together. Uttanasana. Come right up. Arch back. Hands back to the heart. And one more like that. Reach up. Fold the body down. Two more like that. Both sides. Right leg back. Into the plank. The seat's all the way back. If you like, right into upward facing dog without touching hips and knees to the ground. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward. Look enthusiastic as you do it, so that the witness within, it's worth it. Remember, this is an offering, so you make it the best offering possible. So the witness within is pleased by watching the enthusiasm. Uttanasana. Left foot back. When any teacher senses the enthusiasm, the students are more apt to share the knowledge with you. Into upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So stay engaged, stay enthusiastic. Left foot forward. Feet together, bounce the legs. Come right up to standing. And back home. Another variation. Raise your arms up, hips forward, head back. As you come forward, bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs, and pull your arms all the way up and over your head, maybe in front of the head. Now, keep your gaze forward, keep your weight on your left leg, the right foot goes back into Kapayasana. You can keep your toes bent under if you like. And then right back down into high plank. The same entrance as you like into upward facing dog. Do according to your strength and your abilities. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And the right foot forward. Remember, trying to get the body warm. So move with power, but with grace. And then again. Without touching hands to the ground, if possible, swing your arms behind, join them together, and bring the left foot in to meet the right. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing. Hands butt to the heart. If you watch Dharma doing these, Sun salutations, he goes with great speed. Raise your arms up with great energy. Bend your knees and then land your belly on your thighs. Pull hands right over your head. The head comes towards the feet. From here, hold the breath. The left foot goes back right into Kapyasana, arms up over the head. And then right back down into the plank. Your entrance into upward facing dog. If it's too much, just do cobra. And then back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot steps forward. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come right to standing, reach up. Hands back to the heart. And one more round, two more. One on the right, one on the left. Go forward and down. Bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs, your hands come over your head, over your shoulders. And then the right foot back. Kapyasana, swing the arms all the way up and back. And then right back down into the high plank, the seat all the way back, right into upward facing dog if you can. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then the right foot steps forward, back knee down, Kapyasana again, crescent moon, radiate your inner light. You become what you believe, brilliant. And then bring the left foot into meet the right, Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, arch back. Return to pranayama. One more time. Raise your arms up. Bend your knees, sink your belly onto your thighs. Glue them together. The belly to your thighs, arms over the head. Look forward. Hold the breath. Left foot back. Kapyasana again. Swing your arms all the way up and back behind the head as far as you can. Take the hands down into the plank. Ashtanga Namaskara, or again, right into upward facing dog. No legs on the ground. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then the left foot steps forward, back knee down, right up again. Every time you repeat the pose, it becomes with more ease. Perhaps the hands come behind the back, the right foot joins the left. Uttanasana, face to the shins if your legs are perfectly straight. Seat over the heels. Come all the way up to standing. Come back home. Take a pause here. From the heart, inhale the love from the heart up to the crown. Hold the breath. Imagine the love going out to all beings everywhere, like the sun that shines on everything. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine love towards all beings. And release. So let's continue with some poses now. Remember, try to embody all the characteristics of that which you're representing. They all represent the different qualities, aspects of God. Step on your left foot, anchor down, so you can either bring your foot into a regular tree, Vrikshasana, with the foot against the inseam of the thigh, or you can do your lotus. Your foot comes just along the hip crease, the top of the left leg at the hip crease, your knee pointing down. So you can hold the foot with your left hand, bring your right hand behind if you're doing a lotus. Holding elbow, if you can reach, bend forward. Use the left hand if you need to guide the right hand to the foot. And then either bring a hand to the heart, or if you have the regular tree, arms come up. You can do this as well if you like with the left arm, if you have the bind. With the right hand. Get taller and taller. Good, now from here, bring the left hand down, take hold of the inside of the right heel if you can, right into ballet pose. Be magnificent, embody all the qualities of a dancer. Lean to your left a little bit, especially if your leg's closer to the shoulder. You want to keep your toes and your fingers on the same line. It might look more like this, however, and that's totally fine. Wherever you are, it's perfect if you're coming in with an intention of offering. If you need the help, with balance, just you can always stand against the wall if it's too much. Now from here, hold the breath. Let go of the foot slowly. Try not to drop the foot. And then slowly bring it down. Keep leaning to your left. Try not to touch the foot to the ground. Right into gliding eagle. Bend your left knee if you need to bring your fingertips to the ground to prevent from falling. That's all good. Whatever happens, just dance with it, just like whatever you're passing through in your day-to-day life. Just be grateful for the experience. It's something press into your left foot. So you can come right up, back into ballet pose. Break the pose, bring the foot down and release. So starting on the other side now. On the right foot, anchor down through the foot, spread the toes like the roots of a tree. And again, bring the left foot into place. Push the base of the toes, the toe pads, and the heel firmly into your thigh. Like grip the leg with your foot if you're doing a regular tree. And then you can just do it from here. The arms up, hands together, or again, you take your lotus if you have it. Your half lotus. You can take your bind, either at the elbow or at the foot. And you can bring the right arm up if you have the foot with your left hand. Lift up through the heart, set your sights high in every sense. Gaze up if you find a balance. Every pose expresses offering, surrender. Then from here, the right hand comes down. Take hold of the inside of the left heel, right into ballet pose. Flex the foot, helps it balance a little bit. If you're comfortable, lean back, look up. Now hold the breath, engage leg muscles, let go of the foot slowly, try not to let the foot drop. Keep your weight on the right leg, bring the left leg down, and if you can, without touching the foot to the ground in between, right into eagle. So pull the arms out to the side, imagine you're soaring through the air, skimming the surface of the ocean. You become what you believe, remember. So you just try to cultivate a boundless imagination. Imagine great things, amazing things for yourself, and they will realize with constant practice and determination. Now press into your right foot, come all the way back up if you can, right back into ballet pose. And then come down with control. The left foot comes down. We'll do one more sequence. Going to the back of the mat, left foot forward, reach down with your left hand. If you need a block, you can always use a block underneath the left hand. Place it about 14 to 16 inches in front of the left foot. Try to keep your left hip over the heel. Open up to the right. Try to get your right foot up as high as possible. When you look up, you won't see the foot. It's a little bit, if it's in the right position. Now from here, you can stay here, or if you like, bend your left knee a little bit, sink your weight into your left foot, bring your right heel close to your seat so you can take hold of the foot, and then push the foot all the way up again, away from your seat. If you feel like a Dhanurasana pose here, pull the foot back, stretch out the front of the body. Now you can stay here, advanced practitioners, if you want to look forward, hold your breath, and see if you can take your left hand to your heart, do it now. Those of you who can, you can even take your left hand to the foot, bring the foot close to your seat again, and push the foot up and away. One more if you like. Come right into dancer. Again, the normal dance for your left hand out in front or the foot. Chest up, shoulders back. Pull heel in towards the seat and release. Try it on the other side now. Just keep visualizing yourself in the practice you're trying to attain. And at some point, perhaps the body will obey, but have no attachment to results, no expectations, just do your best. The right hand, again, about 14 or 16 inches in front of the left foot, the left hip over the left heel. Bring the left arm up when you're ready. No rush. And then turn your gaze up. Try to get your left leg up as high as possible. Remember to point the toe to make it look pretty. you can stay here, or if you need to modify, you can even come down on your right knee. And then take the heel if you like, and push the foot up and back. So you can do this a little more easily from your knee if you're on your right knee as well. So you can do any of the forms modified according to your condition and ability. From here you can look forward. Try to have your right hip right over the heel. Hold your breath. Take your right hand to the heart. Or you can take the foot in both hands. Push the foot up, away from your body. Arch the back. And press into the right foot if you want. You can come all the way to standing. With your right arm in front. Or still hold on to the foot. Shoulders back, the foot above the height of the head. And then pull the foot back. In and down. Now turn to the long edge of the mat. Bring the elbows up at the height of the shoulders, the fingers in line with your elbows. Jump your feet apart and then go to your left. Virabhadrasana. Try to get your knees over the toes. Come forward a little bit. Work the hips. Try to go to the very edge of your potential every time. Of course, in a mindful way. Don't go to the place of pain or suffering or anxiety. Think of again about what you're transmitting, what you're sending out. Now from here, bring the right arm up to meet the left. Virabhadrasana 1. Take the head all the way back. Look up, as though to say, I'm your surrendered divine service. If you can't turn the hip all the way forward, the right hip, you can lift the back, spin on the ball of the foot and lift the back heel. If it's still too much, bring the right knee down. And now you can bring the knee down wherever you are and extend it, press into the top of the foot. Rock the shoulders back. Try again to your revisiting Kapayasana. Pull your arms back behind the ears, chest up. If your arms, your shoulders won't work in the joints, the shoulders will become flexible. Eventually you can bring your hands back, elbows up, hands come down to the lower back, and then pull your foot up. Eventually you'll be able to take hold of the foot. Another nice form. Swan. You can turn to the right a little bit easier. You can get the foot up to the shoulder, lean towards the foot, the fingers come up towards the ear, lock the fingers together, and then lift the wrist, turn the wrist away from you. And then eventually try to push the foot away from your shoulder again. Think of a swan's neck, there's no kinks anywhere along that smooth curve. Break the pose, pull the foot in towards the seat, release it from here, move your left foot out to the edge of the mat. If your hips are already low, you might be able to fall to the right and get the right hip in the right form to come down, roll back to your left. And then if you're very low to the ground, your left arm can come to the outside, and when the hips are down, the rest of the body will follow more easily. Eventually the pelvis, the belly, and the chest come down. If your hips are too high off the ground, you can just stay on your hands, but just keep sinking your hips down. Imagine you're made of lead, or imagine there's a big weight sitting on top of your seat, and this will maybe give you a visualization. Sink your hips down and get them down lower and lower. Whatever you're doing, try to keep telescope your head and chest forward. Extend the trunk out of the hips, the rest of the body will come down, lower and lower. Keep the knee close to the shoulder, the knee in the line, same line as the heel. Now we're going to come back onto the hands, bend the toes under the back foot. Move the left foot in a little bit towards the center line and lift the toes up off the ground. Hanumanasana. Try to get your belly to come down on the side, the chest moving past the knee. Take your attention to all the areas where you want to find more release. That's where prana will go. That's where the prana will go. Your attention is like a magnet. Now, if this is too easy, you You can hinge your seat forward and start to slide your left heel forward. Try not to have the left hip way forward of the other one. Try to pull the left hip back and the right hip forward so they stay even. And imagine you're stretching a mat with your feet. Balance a little bit, always again mindfully. And eventually maybe you can bring the seat all the way down, the shoulders over the hips. If you know other expressions, go ahead. This is a pose that says anything is possible. Embody the faith, the courage, and the devotion of Hanuman. Good. And then coming back. From here, push into your fingertips, lean forward. Slide your left foot back. Come upright. You want to have the foot underneath the knee. Bend the toes under and back foot and see if you can lift your foot up off the ground. If it comes easily, chances are it's in the right place. Your legs should look like a box. Okay, so now I'm going to do this way so you can see Parivrita Palshakanasana. The right arm comes up and then dive to your left. Your toes and knees can point a little bit to the right. Try to get your armpit to sit on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushes into right, so you don't stay trapped here behind the leg. You push the left hand into the right so the belly comes higher than the thigh. And then keep moving the center of the chest towards your thumbs. Move the left hip back, the top of the head forward, and turn your face and chest all the way up. If you want, you can push your seat back. Use the left hand to guide your right arm underneath the leg. Left arm, throw it over the back, and catch it with your other hand. And if you want, you can try to bring your back knee up off the ground. Hold your breath as you go into those more difficult transitions. This will help you keep in control of the movements. Keep pulling on the hands. Try to get a little bit deeper into the twist. It looks eventually like you're lying on your back. Now break the pose, bring the hands back. From here, push the right leg straight and spin back to the long edge of the mat. To face on the edge of the mat, arms out, come all the way up. Go to the right. Bend into the right knee, the knee again over the toes. Be strong and steady like the warrior, ever ready to do their duty to protect. Good. Left arm comes up to meet the right. Remember, you can lift the back heel if you need to. Turn your chest forward. Look up. Bring the back knee down, flatten out the toes. Kapiyasana again. Pull the shoulders back. Wiggle your shoulders a little bit. Try to get your chest up. Arch your back. Imagine your index fingers going over the back toes. Doesn't matter if it doesn't get there. Just visualize yourself in the pose. Whatever you don't achieve in this lifetime, you continue in the next one. So don't worry, everything's rolling in a perfect way for you to evolve. And again, if you want to try some variations, you can go ahead. Try to bring your, if you bring your hands down, a little bit easier. You bring the left hand to the knee, push the thumb into the back of the knee, and other fingers cup around the knee. And then you can guide the foot more easily to the head. Take the foot in one hand, keep your seat all the way down so you can take your foot in the other hand. Or swan. Bring a foot close to the shoulder, lean towards the foot, fingers right up close to the ear so you can take your bind more easily. Practice, you learn lots of tricks that help you to move into the poses with more ease. Now break the pose, pull heel in towards the seat, allow it to come down, turn forward, the right foot moves out to the edge of the mat, and if you can, fall to your left, then roll back to the right. Both sides of the hips are down. So Sometimes this happens, your knee goes out to the side. If that happens, push your foot out a little bit more so your knee can stay in line with the heel. Or this happens, your hip of the bent leg is all the way up and the other, and not even with the other one. So you want to try to roll back so you're more straight, both sides of the seat, hips down equally. And keep reaching forward until the back eventually drops lower than the knee, and maybe even the belly and the chest and the chin come right down. Be like a lizard sunning itself on a warm earth. Embody the stillness of a lizard. And then come back up. Eventually, when you can see yourself in all forms, you find the ease. Lift the right toes up off the mat and then pull the body down on your legs. When you find the ease, the mind can come into the meditation stage more easily. Imagine your chest is going beyond the knees. A gesture again of humility here. If this is too easy, right into Hanumanasana. Fingers, hips forward. Slide your right foot forward. Straight line from the back knee to the front knee. And then just pulse, push the heels. Don't do it too aggressively. No jerky movements, no hard, loud movements. And if you want, you can take your hands up if you're all the way down. And then again, express the devotion of Hanuman. Anything is possible. Think of all the great feats that Hanuman accomplished. He leapt right over the island Sri Lanka to rescue his master's wife. Imagine this is a leap. The big bound of faith. And then from here, break the pose. Lean forward, press into your fingertips, slide the right foot all the way back until it's underneath the knee again. Come upright, hips to your hands to your hips, so you can lift the foot up off the ground. Good, and press it down, Parivrita Konasana, left arm up, go to the right. The right hand pushes into your left. So don't stay again trapped here with your hands are close to the shoulder. Then you want to keep pushing down until the body comes up and the chest can come behind your thumbs, and then roll the right shoulder back. Now from here you can come into take your knee up off the ground if you like. Hold your breath, push the knee up off the ground. Here it might be, you can experiment going to the bind from here as well. With more space underneath, there's a little bit, sometimes it's a bit more easy to get your left arm underneath. The right arm goes over the back, you join them together. The challenge is to keep the balance. Keep on pressing through the back heel, the roots to the toes. Extend through the crown. And then pull the right shoulder all the way back. Break the pose. Bring hands back towards the center, on the inside of the right foot, and move back to the long edge of the mat. I'm going to turn sideways here. From here, arms out to the side, come all the way up. Hands to the heart. From the heart, inhale up again, the love from the heart up to the crown. Exhale back down to the heart. Never forget that the practice is an offering. Pull the feet in a little bit if you like, the heels beyond the edges of the mat, the toes beyond the edges of the mat, the heels inside, hands to your seat. Now bend your knees like you're lying on a horse, like you're riding on a horse. Push the seat in and down. Slowly take your head back, and then, if you like, bring one hand at a time, just underneath the knees. Push the heels, your palms into your legs, and then see if you can straighten your legs out, but keep rolling the thighs outwards. Roll the shins inwards. Your hands at this juncture is very effective at doing this, the counter twist of the legs. If you're more flexible, you can slide your hands all the way down. Eventually, you may be able to step on your fingers with your heels. Other option, if you're more flexible, right arm goes over the head. If you can see the floor easily, you can take your right hand to the ground and then your left hand. Purification. Push your hips forward and up to straighten your legs a little bit more. And then from here, one hand at a time. If you're in Urdhva the right arm goes all the way up and then to the back of the right leg, just again underneath the knee. And then the other hand, hold your breath as you're taking your left hand to your left leg and then walk your way up. Everybody can do this now. Walk your way all the way up, tuck your chin as you're coming up. And come up straight. Arms out to the side, turn heels out so the edge of the feet are parallel. And then hinge forward. Bring your arms to your legs. You can hold on to the ankles. You can bring your hands underneath your feet. So you're stepping on the fingers to the edges of your feet. And try to get your head right down in between your feet on the ground. If you can't get your head to the ground, no worries. Just again, do your best. More flexible, try to bring your head a little bit further through that top back of the head in line with your heels, the chest behind your legs. Good. Those of you who want to do an inversion here of some sort, you can. If you want to do a headstand, you can go ahead, bring your fingers behind your heels, tripod, push into your hands, hold the breath, and then straddle up. If you can't do it from here, you can bring your feet behind your wrists. Just rest just underneath the knees against your elbows. Press into your hands, hold your breath, and see if you can bend your toes away from the ground. Eventually, you bring your feet up higher. And from here, you can either come into the split leg version, which is easier to balance in. One leg behind, one leg forward. Keep your knees bent. If you feel comfortable, you can keep your legs together, your knees come over your hips, and then your feet go straight up. Otherwise, you stay in Prasarita Padottanasana with your feet and your head on the ground, or your head towards the ground. Those of you in headstand, come down now, gracefully. Hold your breath and engage your core as you come closer to the ground. The feet come closer so you can land your feet in the same place. Arms out to the side, come all the way up, and here, change direction again, you turn to the right, so the right foot's in front, and then come back into high plank. Vasisthasana, your left hand on your left hand and left foot. Turn to the right. Your shoulders, make sure you're not dropping into your shoulder, and make sure you're not dropping down through your hip. Keep your hip up. If you need to, you bring your left knee down, so you don't hurt your shoulder. Okay, you don't want to strain your shoulder too much. Be careful of the joints. Come back to plank. Go on the other hand now. Go to your left, on your right hand and right foot. Imagine your kite being blown from behind by the wind. From here, come back into plank, lower down the knees, and drop your seat down onto your heels. The right arm up, Sukha Gomukhasana. Bring the left hand to the elbow, push it up and further back behind the head. The right hand walks down the center of the back. If you can take your left arm up the back. Join the hands together. Push into the back of the heart, lean back. Drop your shoulders down. Keep lifting up through the heart. Each exhale, keep tugging on the hands so they come further down the back. Your shoulders drop. Don't let the body drop back into the hips as well. Good. Tuck your chin in. Bring the right elbow down and release. Try the other side now. Left arm up. Take the right hand to the elbow, push it up, and then back behind the head. So So you want to do it so that your elbows are in the same line. It's right behind the head. And then the right arm goes up. If you can, take the bind. If not, just keep your right hand on the elbow. And try to move your right elbow in. The center of the head, the elbows are right on top of one another with the head centered in between. Push into the back of the heart, lean back if you like. Keep the face soft. If your eyes are popping out of the head, you might be straining too much. So be mindful again of what you're transmitting. And then release here. So we're going to do another round of Vasisthasana. If you know variations here, you can go ahead. I'll just demonstrate one of them or two of them. So from downward facing dog, I find it easier to start downward facing dog because the hips are already up. You're moving onto your left hand first and move the left hand towards center. You spin towards the right as normal. Then you slide your right toes back and keep spinning on your left foot. Pull the left foot in a little bit. You want to have the inner edge of the foot down and your hip all the way up. Think of Urdhva Dhanurasana. When your left inner edge of the foot is down, you can take your weight up off the right more easily. And then maybe catch the knee. If you have the flexibility, extend the leg and take the foot. You can also, if you have no shoulder issues, you can spin on your left hand and move into Urdhva Dhanurasana. So go ahead and do your variations. Of course, you can stay in a regular, in the same form as you did before, the regular Vasisthasana. Visualize in your mind, allow your breath to take you there, allow your imagination to take you there. And then coming back, spinning on a hand and foot, back into downward facing dog. Go on the other side now, on the right hand, right foot. Spin to your left. And then slide your left toes back. Keep spinning on the right hands and the right foot. Bring the right foot in a little bit closer. Again, inner side of the edge anchored down. Push your hips all the way up. So you can take your knee up more easy, your foot up off the ground. And eventually you can extend the leg if you have the flexibility. Try to keep your right leg straight. Push into the foot. Push your hip up, and this will give you steadiness in the pose. Break the pose the same as you entered. Spin on the right hand and the right foot, back into downward facing dog. Lower knees down, and then breathe in, breathe out all fatigue. Relax. Now from here, one more chance to do headstand if you didn't do before. So now if you have a headstand, you can go into headstand. Don't need to wait for me, and you can do your variations from here. For those of you who don't have quite a headstand yet, you can do a couple different things. You can bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Make sure you can hold the elbows easily and then take your hands forward. So from here, if it's too much to bring your head on the ground, if it's too much pressure on the head, you can stay in dolphin, your seat up. If you can, walk your feet a little bit closer so that you work your core a little bit more. Lift your heels up, try to get your shoulders over the hips, your hips over your shoulders, sorry, and bring your head forward like you're trying to get the back bed behind your hands. You can even do this, or start further back if depending on your hips, and then you can come, if you want, to plank and back. So this is always an option. If you bring your head on the ground, go ahead, bring your head on the ground, bring your feet in. Next step, bring the one foot behind you, allow the foot to hang behind you heavily, like a low-hanging fruit. Bend the toes back on both feet, and then push into your head with your wrists. Keep pushing through the left foot. Eventually, if you keep pushing through the back foot, maybe the right foot, the front foot in front will come up. Bend the toes back. So just test a little bit. See if you can feel comfortable by pulling your toes away from the ground. If you keep your feet flexed, hold your breath, and keep pushing through the back foot, you can eventually have your feet at the same height. at the line of the hips. Don't go so fast, don't jump. You'll send yourself right onto your back. So again, no jerky movements, no fast, aggressive movements. Always smooth. This is the easiest one here to find a balance. That doesn't, that allows you to distribute the weight along the arms so you don't feel as much on the head either. You do this, of course, with a wall or a chair. In close proximity, you bring your foot against the base of the chair and then bring your foot on the seat or the foot on a wall. And then you do the same thing. You push through the back foot. Keep the legs very bent. So the higher the legs and straighter the legs, the harder it is to keep your balance. Think of the physics. Okay. Get used to moving. But keep the mind always in a meditative state, just watching it all like a witness. Coming back down. Softly. Child's pose. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Now coming into shoulder stand. Slide your arms forward in front and sweep your body forward in cobra and come up into cobra. Adho Mukha Sivanasana. Get ready to come to the hands. So jump your feet forward or walk your feet forward to your hands. And then bring your shoulders back over the seat. Your wrists are loose, your fingers dangling from them. And then lift your heels if you can. Push into roots your toes. Imagine you're sliding your back down a wall now. Try not to come forward. Hold your breath. Come down slowly. Once your seat's on your heels, tuck your chin in. And then come back into cloud pose. Hands on the back right away. Feet behind the head. And from here, make your way to shoulder stand. So before you do that, you can pull your hands together and then try to get your arms behind your body a little bit more so your elbows come closer. Bring your hands to your back and then come up one leg at a time. Take your time to stretch out the right leg and the other one. If it's too much for you, you can stay in your easy plow. Keep your hands on the back and your knees close to your shoulders, your feet behind your head. So you can stay in this form here. If it's still too much, you can do happy baby, bridge pose. So just demonstrate quickly. Your feet are close to your seat. You bring your shoulders, press into your shoulders and get your back up off the ground. Try to get your chest as close to the chin as possible so it looks like a wall. Okay, this is almost the same shape. And you notice, if you're in your shoulder stand, if you like, you can go into your lotus if you have a full lotus. Only if you have a full lotus. Otherwise, stay with your legs straight. If you're in Padmasana also, take a moment to try to push your hands into your thighs. Try to get your knees up as high as possible. Like the legs were straight. It should not look like a plank pose. Keep your attention fixed on the center of the forebrain, the seated divine perception. Then bring if you have a lotus, you can bring the lotus back down against your body. Your knees are on either side of the head, so you might be able to take the full bind. You wrap your arms around the outside of the legs, join your hands underneath the seat. If you don't have a lotus, just go back into plow pose. Your feet behind your head. Keep your hands on the back if your feet are not all the way down. If you like, you can also move your thighs against your body. Your knees on either side of the head. Rest. Keep on merging with the form. pose. You know how to get into the variation. Going into camel, you can go ahead. Walk your feet over to your left. Drop your left knee down right beside the shoulder and the right knee as well. So you can stay here. Or you can keep pressing into your left shoulder. Press into the left side of the head. Roll your way right up into standing on your knees and into camel. So press your hips forward. The hands come to your heels. Lift your chest up. But immediately as you come into camel, you come right back down. Most of the time is in plow. So you bring your shoulder down from your left shoulder in front of the left knee. Push into the shoulder, push into back the head, come back into plow. Go to the other side immediately. The knees drop. The right knee first drops beside your right shoulder, and then the left. You can bring your left hand beside your head and roll your way up. Uncoil, make your way into camel pose. Just up, head back, and then again come back in hare pose. You want to aim at getting to the same spots from where you started. Your right shoulder in front of the right knee, and push into the right side of the head. Push into your arm. Keep your seat up. You're all the way back into plow where you started. Now from here, we're going to roll up to Navasana. So if you want a little bit more of a fun transition, you can take hold of the big toes with your peace fingers and your thumbs, or you can take hold of the ankles and you try to make your way up without touching your legs in between, without bending your knees. So hold your breath and come up. If it's too much, just roll right up into boat pose. Try not to let the feet touch in between. And then from here, lift the chest, look up. And then from here, streak your breath. You don't have to hold on to your feet. You can keep your arms by side and your knees bent if you like. Bring your head up and back. Now from here, break the pose. Bring your feet down. Slide your feet out so that they're beyond the edges of the mat. Slide your arms underneath your legs. Push your elbows out. Try to get your belly down in between your legs. You keep pushing your elbows out to the sides. Eventually your shoulders will go lower than the knees. The head comes forward. Top of the head may be in line with the heels. You're very flexible. You know the full pose. Go ahead. Turn it around so you can see your arms come beside your body. Don't separate your feet too much. You might have to bring them in a little bit. So you can get your hands beside your body, your fingers facing back, and you allow the weight of the legs come down on the arms, on the tops, close to the shoulder, on top of the arms, close to the shoulders. Then your elbows will be free to bend. Eventually you might be able to take your hands together over your back. These are all options. Just go again where you find your comfortable edge. We're still working the body to go a little bit further each time. But you can still find quietness in the mind. The mind stays calm. Not spinning from all the distraction of the discomfort. Don't go too that far. Good. Now from here, come back. Hang your arms over the legs if possible. Just like that. Close the shoulders. And then just push the heels in towards the body and down. And some of you might be able to come into Titibhasana from here. So roll back. And then come forward, push into roots your fingers, heels your palms, your finger pads, and then come up. If this is too hard of a transition, you can't get up easily, start with your feet down in the squat. So bring your shoulders in behind your knees, and then lower your seat down. You're hugging the shoulders against the knees, and the shoulders against the backs of the thighs. An easier transition means you bring your feet close together. You squeeze your arms tightly with your legs. You press one foot on top of the other. Flex your toes. Eventually you may be able to hook your feet. This is a little bit of an easier transition before going into Titi-Basana, because again, the idea is the body's compact so that it's a little bit easier to find a balance. It feels it's a little bit lighter. And then down. Good. Now from here, let's see. Come up onto your knees, and then from here, camel pose. Rabbit pose. So push your hands into your seat, push hips forward, and you can stay here if you like. Push the seat down and in, lift your chest, bring your head back. If you can, lean back a little bit so you can get the right hand on the right heel, left hand on left heel. Join your baby feet together, your heels together, and then push your hips all the way forward like you're about to fall on your thighs. Here, lean back again. Shoulders go behind the feet. Right hand on the right side of the seat, left hand on the left side of the seat. Make your way back up. Hands on the ground. From here, arch the back. Around your back, make like an angry cat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And now from here, knock back a little bit. Bring your belly down onto the ground. Cobra. The feet together. Think of the tail of the snake. The snake doesn't have feet. Roll the shoulders back and make your way up. If it's too much, you can come onto your forearms and just tug on the front of the mat. Imagine you're stretching the mat with your hands. And push your chest forward, your hip. The lower body stays anchored down from the hips all the way down to the toes. And eventually, you can maybe lift your elbows up off the ground, arch your back a little bit more, bring your head back. Try to get your head over the seat, bit by bit. You can walk your hands closer and closer. Push into the hands, as though you're trying to push the floor away from you. Bring your head back. Don't lose your neck. Keep your shoulders down, the neck long, lower back without wrinkles. Good. If you're more flexible, you can come onto your fingertips. Push into your fingertips, send your body up higher, get more height. Open up your legs at this point. And then bend your knees. Imagine squeezing socks behind the knees. And point your toes up. Try to see if the toes will touch the head. You have to peel. Keep pushing the foot toward the feet up and towards the back of the head. Back down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now from here, press into your hands, come onto your knees again. So you can do rabbit again, or you can do camel or kapotasana, for those who are more flexible. So for camel, your toes are flat on the ground, hands on the seat. Again, lean back. You have to use your core, hold your breath, press on top of the feet, so you come with control, and then the right hand comes to the foot, left hand comes to your left foot. And then push your hips forward again, allow the head to fall back. You can do this one, remember, you can do the one with your heels, your toes bent under, so your heels are a little bit higher and easier to reach. Now after a while, if you like, if you're in camel, you can go into kapotasana, you can bring right arm up. Hold your breath, bring your other hand up. And maybe you can take your hands to the ground. Hold the edges of the mats even. Okay, you can stay here, or you can bring your head down on the ground, bend your arms, and then some of you might be able to walk your fingers towards the toes and hold your toes, your elbows come onto the ground eventually. If you're very flexible, eventually you can get your head right between your feet, and you can take hold of your heels. And you can do it from upright. Arms up, hold your breath, Bend your hands back so your hands are at the nape and the bottom of the head, and then you might be able to find your heels more easily. And then those who are flexible, take hold of the heels, bring the forearms down. Keep trying. If you can't stay in a pose for the whole time, come out, but don't rest too long. Maybe 1 or 2 breaths maximum, and go back into it. Otherwise, Dharma Ji says, you lose your enthusiasm. Now come out of pose. You who can come all the way back up, you can do that. Hold your breath, press into your shins. Imagine yourself pulling up by the hips and come up. If it's too much, you just come back onto your back. Okay, so from here, set your seat on your heels. Stay in thunderbolt for a moment. Breathe in. Lift the chest. Hold the breath. Chin on your chest. Third eye focus. Contract the glute muscles and the buttocks. Exhale, relax. So now, forearm balance. So from here, you move on to your forearms. Okay, so from here you want to make sure your hands are not too far apart, your elbows are not too far apart, otherwise you could have a tendency to keep sinking down and you eventually lose it. So you try to bring your elbows in a little bit inside of the shoulders and your fingers are spread. Okay, so then you can do this against a chair if you like, to start, or a wall. You bring your feet to the base, make sure you bring your seat on the heels, take hold of the opposite elbows. If you can take them, hold them easily, that's the right distance. Place your hands down in front. And then from here, bring your foot on the wall or on the base of on the seat of the chair. Bring your foot back. You look sort of a little bit towards your thumbs. Keep the legs very bent. Again, foot hanging close to the floor behind you. Flex your feet. This helps to keep your balance. If you're on a wall, you just try to pull your toes away from the wall. You have to really press into your arms. If you're more advanced, you can try to bring both feet over your head and press one foot into the other. Lift your head. Eventually, you might get your feet close to your head. Scorpion. Try to keep your legs bent. If your legs are always straight up, it's a little bit more difficult to find a balance. But if you know how to do it, go ahead. Flex your feet. Keep trying to straighten your arms, your core. You have to work at it a little bit. And then come back down. Child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Good. Now from here, come back upright. Adho Matyandasana. Your left leg is folded in, the foot beside your right hip, and your left leg. Your left leg is folded in, I'm not sure what I said. Left leg is folded into your foot beside your right hip, your right foot on the outside left knee. If you can't do this easily, you can't stay with both sides of the seat grounded, you can bring the left leg out and just move your foot a little bit further forward beyond the knee. The right hand behind the back will demonstrate this one first. Left arm up. Take the forearm to the outside of the thigh. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Raise the chest. Turn to the right. Prop yourself up with the right arm. Spin around your arm. Visualize the spine turning more and more. Perhaps this will cause the body to turn more as well. Make sure that your hand is right against the back. You're not leaning back. Your head in line with your seat. Your leg is folded under. You can also take hold of the heel. Pull on the heel. And it gives you a little bit of good traction to get a little bit deeper into the pose. Imagine trying to push your knee all the way beyond the left edge of the body. Come back to the front, change your legs around with either right leg extended and your foot, right left foot beyond the knee, or the legs like this with your right foot on the outside of the left hip. And then again, push into your lower back with the left arm. Just remind yourself to stay upright. Inhale, lift through the heart, lengthen the spine. Exhale, go deeper into the twist, go to the left. Wringing water out of the cloth in the same way you're wringing out the impurities out of the organs. Then return, lie on the back. Make your way down and relax completely. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, imagine you're fainting. Imagine you went unconscious. In order to become fully receptive to the benefits that are coming in, you have to surrender to it. Let go of all tension, let go of all efforts. Imagine becoming an open vessel ready to receive. So empty out all the stuff that you don't need to make room, that doesn't serve you in any way. Any of the negativity, all the impurities that exist at all levels, the mental, the physical, and the spiritual levels. So you can have more of a container to bring in everything that you need. The best of the best is taking place now. It's all coming in to you. Imagine on the inhale, you're attracting all of the physical impurities that manifest in the sign, in the feeling of tension, of blockage, either in the muscles or the organs, of tightness, withholding tension. Exhale, just drop it right out of the body. The mental impurities now, inhale, collect all the thoughts in your mind that cause you to just keep on identifying with the body, the mind, and emotions, which are not you. Because remember, it's the mind and the body, the emotions that reside in this physical world, that have a finite time on this earth. And since they're not infinite, since they're affected by time, these are not the real you. The real, true you is infinite. So gather up all those mental impurities that cause you to just identify with satisfying the senses, the pleasures that keep you attached to this worldly existence. Exhale, let them all go. Think of higher and greater things. Merging with all beings, merging with God. And now the spiritual impurities. First of all, take all those mental impurities all together on the inhale. Exhale, drop them out of the body. And now for the spiritual impurities, all those tendencies that cause us to stray from the ethical rules, yama and niyama. That cause us to see others as separate and to not recognize the godliness in them. They're not seeing them with reverence, with respect, or the same amount of respect or compassion. Remember that we were all young souls once. We all have to move and experience everything. So compassion, have compassion for those who our younger souls who still have to make the way. We were there once. Perhaps we're not as far as we think. Be open to the possibility of evolving, always. And finding new ways, new levels on which you can exercise compassion and love towards all. Now keep that intention firmly ingrained in your mind. Inhale up all those tendencies that prevent you from seeing or being compassionate towards all. Exhale, drop them right out of the body again, out of your being. And now, prepare to take that out in your day-to-day life, in your intentions. Continue to exercise them in all your interactions. Make your way back up to seated. Right now to close the practice with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within and send it out to all beings everywhere. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful day. Next week, there'll be no practice. I'm at Bhakti Bliss, so